Hello, my name is Michelle Clark, and I am the Indiana Department of Education School Counseling Specialist. Today, I'm here to talk to you about the new Indiana Department of Education Gold Star Award. Over the past year, Indiana Department of Ed has worked with counseling stakeholders across the state to create, update the process and the requirements for the Indiana Gold Star Award. Today, I'm excited to present to you our new Gold Star Award, which is a 3-tiered system to allow schools to build a comprehensive school counseling program and best serve the students of Indiana. So first, why a comprehensive school counseling program? School counseling programs are collaborative efforts benefiting students, parents, teachers, administrators, and the overall community. School counseling programs should be an integral part of students' daily educational environment, and school counselors should be partners in student achievement. This is from the Isca national model. While looking at our new Indiana Gold Star program, we definitely looked at the new Isca national model. And here I've linked the 4th edition. And so basically, excuse me, it just talks about, poses the question, what do school counselors do? And actually, more important is how are students different as a result of what school counselors do? And so the Isca model was created to have a framework for a data-informed school counseling program, which starts with defining your program, looking at your state standards, student standards, Isca mindsets and behaviors, and then managing your program, so looking at your program planning, delivering your program through direct and student services and indirect student services, and then assessing your program and school counselor assessment and appraisal. And so this system or framework is what we based our Gold Star Award on to help schools create a school counseling program that is comprehensive and is able to help serve students in the best way using data and direct and indirect student services. Some benefits of a comprehensive school counseling program. For students, it prepares students for the future by supporting their academic, career, and social emotional needs. It helps parents. It increases the opportunities for a parent and school interaction. It helps the teachers because it provides for a team effort to address student needs and goals. It can help counselors because it provides a clearly defined role and a function of a school counselor. It helps administrators because it clarifies types of activities to include in a school counselor's job description. It helps your community by providing an increased opportunity for collaboration and participation of community members with the school program. And even helps local businesses by providing a future workforce with employability skills needed for success. So what the data says in the U.S. So looking at the, comprehensive school mental health systems and just what's happening in our current country today. So you're looking at 13 to 20% of U.S. children are diagnosed with a mental health disorder. 5% of U.S. adolescents have been diagnosed with a substance abuse disorder. Mental health issues attribute to 10% of our chronic absenteeism. And youth are 6 times more likely to complete school-offered mental health treatments. Social emotional learning and young adult outcomes. So social emotional learning, which is a strong part of a comprehensive school counseling program, significantly shows an association between social emotional skills in kindergarten and young adult outcomes across multiple domains. So it shows that kindergartners who were stronger in social emotional skills and competence were more likely to graduate from high school complete a college degree, obtain stable employment in young adulthood, and less likely to be living in public housing, receiving public assistance, involved with police, or in a detention facility. So there's a clear correlation to strong social emotional health in academics and career and post-secondary options for students. And what the data says in Indiana. So this source is the Indiana Youth Institute's Kids Count data book from 2020. It says 4 times Black students are more likely to receive out-of-school suspension than their white peers. 1 in 3 high school students reported feeling sad or hopeless in 2018. 25.9% of Hoosier high school students did not feel safe at school. 1 in 3 Indiana children ages 10 through 17 are overweight or obese. And the child abuse and neglect is up 22.3% since 2014. And this data comes before our current situation with the pandemic. So we're definitely looking at a struggling community of students here in Indiana. And another reason for creating and updating this comprehensive school counseling program model is that when we did the Indiana School Counselor Survey, so this is data that's been collected actually over the past 10 years, Inspire Success has pulled the data for the DOE, and but it shows that 18% of respondents, that only 18% of respondents claim that they had achieved the Gold Star recognition. And so the majority of school counseling programs, 82%, are not Gold Star schools. And some of the main reasons that schools reported not seeking the Gold Star award were 48% said lack of time, 17% said a lack of knowledge about the process, and 7% cited a lack of support or approval from their administrators. 4 schools indicated that they were seeking the process of the American School Counselor Association's recognized Isca model program status, so RAMP, and 25% of respondents listed other reasons for not pursuing Gold Star, including that Gold Star is not elementary friendly, there are too many hoops to jump through with little resulting or sustained change for the school counseling program, and the difficulty of getting all stakeholders on board. And so in looking in that data and looking at the data of our students in the state of Indiana and nationally, it's clear that building a comprehensive school counseling program is so important. But there needs to be sustained change from doing this work and putting in the work and effort that it takes to create a comprehensive school counseling program. And so our goal from the DOE and from the counseling stakeholders was to create a new, or we kept using the terms, revamp the Gold Star Award, because we wanted to make it beneficial for all of you. So just a little bit of history if you're new to this. In October of 2017, Indiana Department of Education put out an RFP, which is a request for quotes, to secure a vendor to help evaluate the impact of the current Gold Star Award. In January of 2018, Butler University was awarded money to evaluate our Gold Star program. In 2019, August, Indiana Department of Ed creates a Gold Star Advisory Council to revise the Gold Star Program Award. And so that's around the time that I came along on board in October of 2019, and we started with the process. We have an amazing advisory committee that I'll share with you at the end. But then March of 2020 happened, and as all you know, kind of our world pivoted at that point, and so some of our efforts, it became a little more difficult to continue. So there was a little bit of a delay, but we still continued to meet and work towards progress of unveiling this new Gold Star Award. So here we are in November. And I'm excited to share with you a preview of what we've been working on with the hopes of a complete rollout in early 2021. So after the review with Butler University, these were some of the recommendations from the Gold Star Review. To develop a tiered model so schools can take more time to implement and develop a program, to develop a new student survey or needs assessment, for schools to create goals based on their own school data, to build the why so that we can really outline the benefits of a comprehensive school counseling program, to provide initial and ongoing consultation, professional development, collaboration, and support. And it was important that we do this free to schools and align with other school-wide initiatives and competencies such as MTSS, social emotional learning, social justice, graduation pathways, and the employability skills. So this is our current award progression. So like I said, we have developed a 3-tiered model, and we designed a logo for our program. You can see we have the 3 stars. So you can reach a bronze star level to the silver star level, and then finally ending with the gold star level. The neat thing about this tiered program is that you can choose as a school to really slow down the process, because obviously right now, and even more so in the current COVID-19 pandemic, is that we are, counselors are just stressed right now. Educators are stressed. Everybody's overwhelmed. So many changes are coming all at once. And so the last thing that we want to do is to create a process or an award that feels like it's unattainable due to lack of time or sustainability. So we wanted to kind of draw out the program so you can truly change your school counseling program for the better and create something that is sustainable and that can be continued and modeled from years to come, no matter who is at your building, even if you have some staff changes. But it really just develops a program that can keep going on its own. The bronze level is created to ideally could be just a standalone counselor. So if you are someone who is really interested in this process and you kind of want to do a little bit of it on your own, this doesn't require the whole department to join in on your effort. So this is something that you can work standalone as your own counselor. And then the silver and the gold level do require you to work with your whole team as well as an advisory council. So that includes administrators, people from the community, school board, etc. So lots of stakeholders from your district, whereas the bronze level is something that you can kind of work on your own, just as you learn about the process. So carrying the torch to student success, the Bronze Star, starting a comprehensive school counseling program. So this is kind of the main things that you'll be working on at the bronze level. So you'll start with a review of your current counseling program. You'll watch a webinar, and you'll analyze your school data. And the cool thing that we did, with this is that you can get your school data from any way that you see fit. So some people might have their own needs assessment that they currently utilize. Some might want to use one of the samples that we've created, or you may just look at your attendance and discipline records in your SIS. So there's lots of ways that you can attain data. The second step would be to talk to your administration about building a comprehensive school counseling program. So we really want to encourage you to build awareness with your administrative team. What makes school counselors' roles so important to a school building? Looking at the school counseling duties, looking at the ASCA appropriate versus inappropriate school counseling duties, and then completing an administrator conference form where you're meeting with an administrator and talking through how you as a school counselor can really benefit your school building by just, looking at your role and making sure that you're doing things that are constantly working towards building this school counseling program. And then you'll look at your program planning. You'll develop a weekly school counselor calendar, so what you might do for a week snapshot. You'll develop an annual school counseling calendar, so really looking at your program as a whole from August through May. You'll keep a personal time log at least 2 weeks per semester. We definitely encourage longer because we feel that creating data to show your administrator is a very, very important thing to do. Data really shows how your efforts help students. And so just having that on paper or wherever, however you track it is really important. And then creating a counselor self-care plan. Creating program goals is important, but also taking care of yourself along the way. So we found we have a template that you would fill out there as well. And then creating a school counseling program goal. So you would write, learn about what a SMART goal is, and you would write one goal with an action plan, and then actually create a lesson plan that is tied to standards. So whether it's the Indiana School Counselor competencies, the social emotional learning competencies, employability skills, just tying it back to, the Isca mindsets and behaviors, but tying it back to those program standards, and then creating a lesson plan there. And then at the end of the year, if you're doing this just the bronze level, we would ask that you would share your end of year document. So just kind of a data collection of, what programs you did that year, how many kids you saw, what were the things that you saw from your students, just kind of creating an end of year document that shows the importance of your role as a school counselor. The second tier in carrying the torch to student success would be the Silver Star. And so this is when you're really going to dive in and plan a comprehensive school counseling program. So again, you would review your current program. So you'd be watching a webinar, the overview of what the Silver Star level entails. And then you would complete the school counseling program assessment. So you're looking at, again, your school counseling program as a whole and seeing what things that you're already doing and what things you need to work on. Again, you would track your counselor use of time. Where are you spending your time throughout the school day and the school week? During the silver level, you also create a vision and mission statement for your counseling department. You would utilize data to develop your program. Again, you're going to watch a webinar about data and program development, so just diving in a little bit more on what collecting data looks like, creating and utilizing a survey or a needs assessment for your school, reviewing your building level data. Again, that can be through however you see fit for your current program. If you are not ready to do a needs assessment or a survey, you can still look at attendance data, discipline data, academic data. There's so many pieces of data that are super important that you probably already have. And then looking at a data summary and program priorities worksheet. So really diving into that data and seeing where your efforts as a school counselor can make a difference. And during the Silver Star level, you'll create an advisory council. So you'll create an advisory council full of stakeholders, create the purpose and membership form, and you'll meet with your advisory counselor, creating agendas and keeping meeting minutes. In the silver level, again, you're going to create program goals using your data and your advisory council input to inform your goals. And you'll complete an annual student outcome goal plan for each goal. And so at the silver level, you'll be required to do a minimum of 3, whereas at the bronze level, you were only required to do 1 goal. You'll explore interventions. So you'll watch a webinar on evidence-based practices. You'll create an action plan. So again, completing an action plan template for each goal with a minimum of 3 goals. You'll update your annual calendar to reflect your action plans. You'll create a department agreement. So complete a department agreement template and share your agreement with your administrator. So what your program goals are after looking at your data, what are the things that you are going to accomplish during this school year. So again, the silver level, just like the bronze, you can map this out over a 3-year period, or you could work towards earning this within a year, within a school year, within 2 school years. So there's really a lot of flexibility on how your school wants to work towards building your comprehensive school counseling program. The final tier of carrying the torch to student success is the Gold Star. The first thing you'll do is, again, review your current counseling program. So you're going to review your annual calendar and review your action plans. You'll create small group and classroom lesson plans. So you'll watch a webinar, develop small group lesson plans, develop classroom lesson plans, determine the data collection method, implement lesson plans, and collect data from your lesson plans. Then you'll continue with the Closing the Gap lesson plans. Again, you'll watch a webinar on Closing the Gap, review your data to determine your gap, develop Closing the Gap lesson plan, and implement the lesson and collect your data. Then you'll create your results report. So you'll watch a webinar on how to do that. You'll review the data collected from your small groups, your classroom lessons, and your Closing the Gap lessons. And then you'll continue to write your narratives for how those lessons in those small groups in the Closing the Gap lessons impacted your school counseling program. You'll again complete the counselor self-care plan and reflect on your self-care successes and needs. You'll look at a program evaluation reflection. So you'll watch a webinar, you'll review your results reports, you'll review your time use logs in your annual calendar, and you'll write a narrative. The next steps might include another completion of an administrative agreement, having conversations about district level alignment. So if you are the elementary school, you may look to implement in your middle school and high school. Conversations about the district level alignment. Present to stakeholders, your school board, district leaders, community members, and anyone who might benefit from hearing about all of the awesome things that your school counseling program has accomplished. So how to start the process? Again, like I mentioned, we're still in the early stages of implementation. So once it rolls out early in January or February, we will be contacting or letting everyone know the details of how to get started. So this may be in a platform online. All of the templates and everything will be available for you to download and utilize for this process, and then available to upload and be reviewed by an IDOE reviewer. So the best thing to do would be to start this spring. So that's kind of why we wanted to get the skeleton out at the end of this year, and then early next year allow schools to kind of opt in to start the process. So you're going to want to start with your needs assessment. So either utilizing a tool that your school district already uses, or using one of the samples that we've created, or just looking at your attendance and discipline data. It's been a rough year, so I'm sure that you have a lot of you'll have a lot of data from that as well. Talk to your administration about building a comprehensive school counseling program. Then start program planning. Summer and early fall is definitely a good time to start looking at your school counseling program and some of the things that you have planned for the school year. And then you'll create some program goals. So what are the things that you're hoping to accomplish by building a comprehensive school counseling program? Some frequently asked questions. So the first thing is, how will we know how to start this process? So the best thing to do is just keep in touch with me. So make sure to follow the Indiana Department of Education by enrolling in my school counseling newsletter, following at Counselor Clark on Twitter. I often put notices in Counselor Talk, so definitely just stay aware. And then also the superintendent, there's a Friday memo that goes out, and I'm sure I will place it there as well. We are already a Gold Star school. How do we renew? So all of the schools that were already Gold Star, we bumped up the renewal to 5 years. So if you are at your 5-year mark, then you will have to start next year on the silver level of the new Carrying the Torch to Student Success tiers, and update your documents since the last time that your gold star was achieved. So in a sense, you will, kind of be doing some of the process over again, but that's kind of the goal of a comprehensive school counseling program, is that you're always looking at your school data and you're always creating new program goals to help meet the needs of your students. So that's where previous Gold Star schools will start. Is there a fee to apply to work towards this award? No, you will not need to pay anything for working towards this award unless you decide to apply for RAMP, which is the Recognized Isca Model Program, which I believe the last time I checked was $250. So we have been working side by side with Isca, and we're hoping that enough of our program is aligned with Isca that it should be a pretty seamless process to apply for RAMP if that's the choice that you decide to make, but it's not necessary. So again, there is no fee for this. Everything will be given to you for free. We plan to have some professional development surrounding building a comprehensive school counseling program as well. So this will all be available to you from the department and some of our counseling stakeholders. Who will review the applications? The Indiana Department of Education will have some paid reviewers to help support you in this process. So once you submit your documents, the reviewers will look them over, and if they don't meet the criteria or meet the rubric, then we will give you suggestions to work on your application and meet the rubric so that you can achieve the award. And like I said, so more information on this will be coming on how to actually get started in our platform and start working with our documents. And like I said, everything will be available for you, including templates, sample lesson plans, sample needs assessments, everything that you would need to work through this program. The last thing that I want to do is just thank the advisory committee. So Carrying the Torch to Student Success Advisory Committee started over a year ago, and they actually started when I was not even in this role. And so I kind of came on, and they've been such a group of rock stars, and I'm so appreciative of all of the hard work. This has not been an easy task, and they have just really made this such an easy process for us to go through, and I'm just so thankful and grateful for all of their hard work. So if you see any of these awesome Rockstar counselors, please let them know that you appreciate them. Here's who worked on the project: Jennifer Hunt from LaPorte High School, Stephanie Kozach from Clinton Prairie Elementary, Karen Moffitt, Chesterton High School, Julie Hill, Webo Junior Senior High, Dr. Brandy Oliver from Butler University, Nick Abel, Butler University, Jen Money Brady, Indiana Wesleyan University, Alan Hill, Fallon Leadership Academy, and he's our Isca Executive Director, Samantha Vidal from Zionsville Middle School, Ruthie Leaf from Center Grove Middle School, Addison Atkins Harris from Clinton Central Elementary, and Lizette Bauman from Fishers High School. If you have questions about the new Gold Star, please feel free to email me, or simply, if your school district is interested in working towards the Carrying the Torch to Student Success bronze, silver, or gold tier, please let me know. We will be looking for some schools to participate and kind of be the first ones to try the new Gold Star this spring and moving into the next school year. So if it is something that your school wants to initiate, please reach out. I know that times are very unpredictable right now with our current pandemic, and a lot of counselors have a lot on their plate, and this is probably not the number one priority, but maybe because of the pandemic, you're looking at structuring your counseling department in a way that helps your students be successful by the work that you do. So if that's the case and you'd like to work towards this award, we are here to support you. So I hope this presentation was helpful and everybody stays safe and healthy. Bye.